Hello, Mr. Overon here with Mr. Overon's Tarot Reading Services, and today I'm going to be talking about doll babies or voodoo dolls or puppets, whatever you want to call them. Um, Typically and genuinely, when you think of a voodoo doll, you see like this voodoo witch doctor praying over a doll and stabbing it with pins and stuff like that. Well, that's not too far off from the truth. A puppet or a doll baby or whatever it is that you want to call them isn't anything more than a physical representation of a person. You can make them specifically for a person to work your magic on them. I've done that in the past. Or you can make a general purposed doll baby and use that. Now there's going to be some people who agree and disagree with me on that, and you know what, that's fine. That's just how my magic works. But this is one of my little doll babies that I created. I know it's got some funky wacky hair. It's been around for quite some time now, but it's just really simply put together. There's this jute twine is what I use to make the head, arms, and the body, and maybe I'll do a video on how to make these. It's something that I actually came up with in the 11th or 12th grade. I can't remember which it was, but I do remember that it was during our mandatory silent reading time shortly after lunch, and it's where I used to practice a lot of my spell making techniques and writing in my book of shadows and stuff. I was the school witch, and so to see me working a spell or making some kind of magical item was like an everyday occurrence in my classroom. So the way that I came up with this, it was like just really kind of out there. I had a bunch of just different supplies and stuff, and something just told me to start wrapping and winding, and so that's all this is. There's no sticks, no internal or like anything. The only thing that I do put into these sometimes is I will put, like, if it's going to be for a love spell, I'll wrap some cinnamon for the arms and the back, but otherwise everything else is just wrapped on top of itself several hundred million times. I can't even tell you, like, if you're using yarn, because you can use anything for these. You can use yarn, thread, any kind of material like that, but I've gone through an entire skein of yarn making one of these before, and then I've gone through maybe several hundred feet of it. So I don't know, it just really, if I get ambitious enough, because it's going to be a really long freaking video if I put that together. What is your problem? Shut up. I'm doing a video. My cat, sorry about that. So yeah, like I was saying, I kind of perfected this technique in my 11th or 12th grade reading time, so it's something I've been working on for quite some time. And later on in life, when my sister had her daughter, I used to make these little dolls all the time for my niece so that she could play with them and things like that. And yeah, so this is my little guy, and I did it kind of unisex. Like, it could be a guy, it could be a girl, whatever else, but this is like my main, like, go-to doll. Like I said, I have others made up for specific people, but I typically and genuinely like to just make random little dolls like this that are all-purpose. So using this, though, You would use this as visualization of the person. Now, if you made a everyday damn it doll type thing like this, you would put something personal of the persons that you're working on, like some hair, fingernail clippings, a piece of jewelry, something. Um, so, like, say if I was using this one and all I had was a ring. So here's my ring. I would just slip it right over the little arm like that, and then consecrate it, and boom, there it is. It's now a doll based on myself. So what can you do with these? Well, you can banish them by tying black yarn or thread or ribbon around them. You can set them on fire if it's someone that you really wanted out of your life, or just wanted to, like, curse or bless or whatever. You would use this. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, traditionally when we think of voodoo dolls or doll babies, we think of stabbing them with pins. Okay, so you could stab this with safety or needles. You could poke it in the heart. You could poke it in the eye, in the head, or whatever. If somebody isn't listening to you, or you need them to listen to you, you could stab them where the ear would be. I think that would give them more of an earache than to get them to listen to you. But you know, your magic, your representation, your intent. That's all that is. Whatever you have the intent for is how this is going to be used. So, yeah, that's just a really quick little thing. So, like, if I was going... So, I'll do a quick spell. So, my sister recently had breast cancer about a year ago. She's been in remission for about a year. Just recently, she had another mammogram and x-ray done on her breast, and they found lumps in there again. So we were all really worried, really scared what was going to happen, and so on and so forth. So what I did the first time around was I took some of her hair because she decided to shave it, and she wasn't going to let it fall out through the chemo or whatever, so she went ahead and shaved it. Well, I gathered up a huge clump of her hair and I put it in a jar with a doll baby, and I just focused all of my energy into that jar, that she would be healthy and that she would have the energy to continue to do what she does and all this other stuff. And I just completely compelled that jar with that energy. So, say this is your friend who's sick or a loved one or whatever. You would take your dominant hand, that's the hand of power. Every person has a dominant and a receptive hand. On the likely chance that you're ambidextrous, it would be the hand that you use the most. So for me, that's my right hand. My left hand isn't dominant. So when you're talking about the dominant and non-dominant hands, this is a receptive hand because this is my left. This is my power hand because this is my right, and this is the one that I use. So when you're pushing power out, it's coming out of your receptive, or out of your dominant hand into the world. When you're accepting energies and stuff, it goes in through your non-dominant hand. So you would take your non-dominant hand, place the doll baby in there, and then take your dominant, place it over the top, and just pray and fill the doll baby full of love and energy and healing and everything else. And, you know, just close your eyes, make that connection with your higher power or the earth or whatever kind of energies that you're going to be putting into your doll, and just feel like there's this ball of energy just pouring into it, and as it's pouring into it, it's also working on the person that you have intended for. So that is one thing that how you can use it. The same thing would be if you were going to curse it and like send all kinds of bad juju at the person. That's what you would do also. You would just, I freaking hate you, I don't like you, I want you out of my life, I hope nothing but sorrow and misery comes to you, and blah, 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 whatever else, Um, but, yeah, so that's how to use a voodoo doll poppet or doll baby. You can make these out of clay, you can make them out of wood, soap, you can draw a picture if you're not really that creative. Just draw a little picture and put your intent into that. Again, when it comes to witchcraft and everything, it's all about your intent. So you could say that this paintbrush, if you can visualize this paintbrush being the object of the person that you are working on, that's all you need. I am kind of a dramatic flair type of a witch. I like to have the bells and whistles, as it were. So that's how I would use this guy. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or video suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, or shoot me an email at mroveron@gmail.com. And if you would like a tarot reading or a spell cast, head over to the website mroveron.com, and yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'll answer any questions that I can, and I will talk to you all later, my little witches. Bye!